Things are getting interesting up north, eh? Canada, known for its politeness and love of hockey, is now making headlines for flirting with the European Union. No, seriously, it's like watching your shy friend suddenly join the cool kids table. This isn't just some casual fling though, we're talking potential EU membership, folks. Yeah, you heard that right. Canada trading in its maple syrup for some Belgian waffles and German beer. Now I know what you're thinking. Canada? In the EU? Isn't that like geographically impossible? Well, hold your horses. It's not as crazy as it sounds. See, Canada's been feeling a little neglected by its southern neighbor lately, and who can blame them? The US has been acting like that unpredictable uncle at a family reunion. You know the one, always starting arguments about potato salad. Meanwhile, the EU, with its charming accents and fondness for universal healthcare, is looking pretty good. Think of it as that reliable friend who always brings wine to the party and never hogs the karaoke machine. So is this the beginning of a beautiful transatlantic romance? Or will Canada be left nursing a broken heart and a plate of poutine? Let's dive in and find out, shall we? So, how are Canadians feeling about this potential European adventure? Well, it's a mixed bag, eh? According to a recent poll, a surprising number of Canucks are actually into this whole EU thing. We're talking almost half of them. That's like saying almost half of America wants to start speaking French and using the metric system. Shocking, right? Of course, not everyone's sold on the idea. Some Canadians are perfectly happy with their current relationship status. It's complicated with the US. They argue that joining the EU would be like swapping one set of problems for another, kind of like trading in your old beat-up car for a fancy European sports car that you have no idea how to drive. Then there's the group that's still on the fence, scratching their heads and saying, "Hey, I don't know, bud." They're probably too busy watching hockey and drinking Tim Hortons to really care. But hey, that's democracy, eh? A beautiful mess of opinions and maple syrup. Let's be real, folks. Canada's sudden interest in the EU isn't just about shared values and a love of good cheese. It's also about geopolitics, baby. Remember that unpredictable uncle we talked about earlier? Yeah, he's been acting up again. Tensions between Canada and the US have been heating up like a pot of Kraft dinner on a hot stove. From trade disputes to threats of turning Canada into the 51st state, seriously America? It's safe to say the relationship is a little strained. It's like watching a couple fight over the last slice of pizza at 3 a.m. Not pretty. So what's a lonely northern nation to do? Look for love in all the wrong places? Not quite. Canada's realizing that it needs to diversify its portfolio both romantically and strategically. The EU, with its stable economy and commitment to multilateralism, is starting to look like a pretty good option. It's like that responsible friend you call when you need to be bailed out of jail after a wild night out. They might not be as exciting as your other friends, but they're always there for you when you need them. Now let's talk about the man himself, Prime Minister Mark Carney. He's like Canada's version of George Clooney, charming, sophisticated, and knows how to rock a suit. Since taking office, Carney has been dropping some serious hints about Canada's European ambitions. He's been spotted sipping espresso with European leaders, quoting Jean-Paul Sartre in press conferences, and even wearing a beret on casual Fridays. Okay, maybe not that last one. Carney knows that joining the EU would be a long shot, kind of like Canada winning the World Cup of Soccer. No offense, Canada. But he's also a pragmatist. He sees the writing on the wall and it says, America's kind of a mess right now. So he's playing the long game, building relationships and keeping his options open. He's like that smooth operator at the bar, chatting up everyone and seeing where the night takes him. Will Canada actually join the EU? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, this Canadian love triangle is about to get a whole lot more interesting. Stay tuned, folks.